Redcat Racing may have just set a new bar for ready-to-run crawlers with this, the new Ascent Fusion. This rig comes out of the box with carbon fiber frame rails, a bunch of aluminum goodies, a brushless system, and brass weights, all for $399. I bet you I have your attention now. In today's video, I'm gonna go over all the details you need to know about this. We're gonna hit the rocks, and if you need to get one of these things, I'll have an affiliate link in the description below. Let's get into it. The body's simply the front cab, which is what a lot of people wind up running. They've painted it black. We've got some red accent decals on here, clear windows. They have their front clip that slides into a bracket on the front of the truck. And then on the rear, they now have body posts. And these are actually aluminum. There's supposed to be body clips on there. I pulled them off to make my life a little bit easier. But the front is pinched, so there's more clearance for the tires. Just simple, easy. And it's what drivers prefer on a performance rig. Look at that, we've got carbon fiber frame rails. How awesome is that? They switched from the aluminum to this carbon fiber ladder frame setup. Look at all the aluminum cross posts to help brace everything up. They've got carbon fiber shock towers complete with aluminum post bracing instead of the composite plastic, which was found on the Ready to Run. Love the look of this. They still have the composite side skids, and as you can see, the battery is now relocated to the left side. They also ditched the composite bumpers and now have these low profile skid style bumpers with openings for a fair lead. They are slightly adjustable, and I love the look of this. I like how they went and gave us countersunk washers, red anodized all over the place. It's really my favorite color combination. The black and carbon fiber and red just looks so cool. Some changes have been made to the suspension, and let's go back to the carbon fiber shock towers. They have a number of holes so you could alter the shock mounting locations. The shocks themselves, they're a black and red anodized version of the original shock. However, they've removed the internal spring from the rear shock, so you get full travel, you get that nice articulation from it, and they still have the internal spring in the front shock. And just like the Ready to Run, the feel of the shocks, awesome on the workbench. Can't wait to try it out. I mean, look at all of that travel. That's absolutely awesome. Let me flip this over so we could check out the links on it, and it still has the 3-link with pan hard bar setup in the front, 4-link in the rear, metal pivot balls, and these are black anodized steel. I threw a magnet up on those. They looked like aluminum at first, but they are definitely metal. You got the bent links up on the front, straight links in the rear, and while we're checking out the links, might as well look at the steering. Those are steel as well, metal pivot balls, and I like that they have a dual shear point at the knuckles. On all 4 corners, you got this multi-terrain tire that's actually molded in a pretty soft compound for a Ready to Run. Foam inserts on the inside, and it's mounted up to this beadlock wheel. I actually like the look of this wheel, a 1.9. And then to really set off the look, they've got these red anodized wheel nuts. Redcat has really refined their portal axle design. They're on version 3. The axle housing itself is a single piece setup, dual shear points for the shocks. And I like that you could still remove the link mounts actually, but check this out. They give us a machined aluminum diff cover, absolutely awesome. Anodized red, and underneath that is their steel ring and pinion gear. Supported by ball bearings, the spool is machined aluminum, and then they have steel universals up front out to the portal axle carriers. Inside, Mod 1 metal gears and ball bearings, of course, but look on the outside, guys. They gave us brass portal covers right out of the box. 46 grams of additional weight on each side to help plant the front end of this. That's very cool. They've really set the bar with that by including those in the kit. And then the rear axle, very similar to the front. It's just a fixed setup. Still metal gears on the inside, ball bearings, 12mm aluminum wheel hexes on this. Like that, there's a little bit of truss bracing. These axles are pretty tough. Now let's move on to the rest of the drivetrain. They still have their slider drive shafts in the center. Steel joints on the ends, and then the transmission case is very cool. So it is a underdriven setup right out of the box, 20%. They also give you 10% underdrive or 0% gears in the box, so you could go and alter the type of underdrive you want out of this. And it's actually really easy to change out those gears. There's just these 2 screws right here that you remove, and you have to slide off this rear case. You do have to kind of fiddle with 1 link screw to kind of get everything out of here, but still pretty easy to change out the gears. They are 32 pitch gears and composite. At least you have all metal gears inside the axles. And then you've got this short shaft up to the spur gear, and the spur gear does have a slipper clutch in it, but they've really locked down on this. And then they made a change to the mount. This is actually a little over 6mm lower than the original Ready to Run carbon fiber plate. It also supports the motor, obviously. Really simple setup, easy to work on everything on this truck. Getting into the electronics, we'll start off with the servo. They give us the Hexfly torque spec servo. That was also in the Ready to Run, provides good torque, metal gears on the inside. Then over on the skid, you'll find the R4C receiver, and next to it, the on-off switch for the brushless crawler system that's in here. Check it out. They gave us a 2-in-1 brushless FOC unit. It's got the speed controller in the end bell here, 540 size motor, 1800 kV, XT60 plug on it. This is what it's all about, guys. This is the type of stuff we should be getting in crawlers. This is definitely going to provide some smooth throttle control. Can't wait to see how it drives with this system in it. You're just going to have to supply a short 2 or 3S LiPo battery that will fit over here in the Velcro battery strap, but everything's nicely wired from the factory. Really nice job right out of the box from Redcat. Finally, let me show you guys what else you get in the box. You get the RTX 4C transmitter, nice comfortable grip on that, digital trims. You get your instruction manual, of course, some decals, and then these plastic bits. So they still give you the original rear shock bracing and wheel nut covers. They give you the factory battery tray. So if you want to go and run a standard pack in there, you'll be able to do that. Here's the cross bracing for the shock tower, extra body mounts in case you want to swap that out. There's those gears that I mentioned before, the internal springs. The only thing you're going to need to provide is 4 AA batteries for the transmitter. Again, that LiPo battery pack and a charger. Time for the drive, guys. Let's hit the rocks. All right, guys, heading up to one of the usual spots, and I got to show you this. Just love this bridge. Very cool. That's an awesome view. It's got its own carrying handle. And here it is, the crawl spot. Drivers, I gotta start off with, hands down, this is the best ready to run rig I've ever driven in this spot. Its capability has just blown away what I was expecting. This thing has been so much fun to drive. I already have a half-hour drive time into it, and I know I'm not stopping until this pack is dead. So here's what the Fusion can do. There is the low speed crawl. Now let me just get a little speed so I can get up to this rock face here. But here I'm gonna drop it back down. Look how slow that thing is. Just working. And the tires are probably gonna slip a little bit, but it's just forward progression there. Look at that. Not many rigs make it up that spot right there. Oh, that looks so awesome. Yeah, the tires are grabbing the body a little bit. I didn't bring any scissors with me. Then it's got a nice slow descent. Just let that drivetrain catch up. A little wheel slip there. But look at that, so controlled. So awesome. Now I gotta show you guys something I've never been able to do with any other rig here before, and that's going up this rock face right here. This thing is just making it happen. Look at that, awesome. Even crested the top without an issue. This spot here too, I've never been able to get any other rig up this spot. And it takes a little bit of finesse, but I was able to do it a couple times. And I'm gonna back up and just give it a punch. Give it a punch. There we go, got right up and over that. Never been able to do that before. Now this is one spot where I wish they angled the skid on this. It just would have helped out, but nailed it. Just gonna straddle the truck over this ledge right here just so you can see that portal axle clearance. No hang-ups. And there's a good look at the steering. Plenty of steering, 45 degrees. Just gotta chop the body a little bit, you're good to go. But even that stock servo, I mean, it's holding its ground. Now that those tires have some weight on it, I mean, they work pretty good for a ready-to-run tire. You have to admit it. Oh. There we go. Got it that time. And the suspension works so well. I mean, it just keeps the wheels on the ground. Look at that, completely twisted up. Redcat made a really capable rig. I mean, the Ascent was a lot of fun before, but this is next level.
Redcat Racing's really on a mission. 3 new releases in 3 weeks, and I think they're all hits. Week number 1 was the Ascent 18, a small scale crawler at a really good price, and it is very capable. A lot of fun to drive. Week number 2 was the Vigilante, a large scale truck, and that thing is just a beast. And now week 3, the Ascent Fusion. This is such a capable rig. So much fun to drive right out of the box, and a really good value in my opinion. They gave you a lot of stuff in this kit. I had so much fun driving it after taking it to the park that I actually took it to RC Madison, Enfield, Connecticut to drive it on their rock crawling course, and there it was just as capable. Just love the way this rig plants itself now with its forward weight bias thanks to the brass weights. We got the battery more centralized, and then that 20% underdrive in the rear just helps plant this rig whether you're going over rocky terrain just on a level surface or if you're going up inclines. Really helps suck the truck down into the rocks and you're able to crawl much easier with it. I think I would have liked a little bit softer of a tire insert, but that's something that you could easily change. And I know, with ready-to-run tires, a lot of people swap that out for their preference. I'm not gonna harp on that. These tires actually do pretty well. Again, especially for the price of this truck. I mean, they're really just stirring things up. I like the control with the brushless system. Makes crawling so much more enjoyable, so much more precise. The drag brake, very good with this system. Love the steering angle as well. This truck has a ton of steering. The stock servo actually does well. I love using the rock obstacles to help, turn that truck even more. I really just got into driving this rig. The only thing I really wish they did was give us an angled skid to help with that brake angle, but I was able to get this over some of the ledges with just a little bit of extra power, a blip prior to meeting that ledge. And finally, I'd say definitely get like a little piece of Velcro or a foam pad to put under the battery pack, because when you do crash, sometimes that battery just ejects forward and you're gonna have to reset the battery pack. But this thing is killer. Awesome job, Redcat. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. Again, links in the video description. We'll see you back soon for some more RC Driver videos.